Okay, I can bring you in. You're gonna see it. Come on in.
Reading film. Let me move my meal and you can take pictures. Well, as I reported previously, that I'm going to tell you guys that about the Sparks. I can't wait to see them. The Tesla coils worked. They were perfect, and the Sparks were going everywhere. Basically, we had to move people from the stage as far as we could because the Sparks were flying all around. I couldn't believe it. It was such an awesome day. The music was good, the security was tight, everything. The tents were high, so I had no problem. That was awesome.
Hi, my name is Clay Lapley, and I represent Franklin Homeowners Insurance Company, and we're proud to be the gold sponsor of the Tesla event here this weekend. And I guess a lot of different ways. Ben Franklin, that's who we get our name from, and of course Ben and Nicole, they were pioneers in that industry. And we actually do flood insurance, so we have a little bit of water involved here for electricity kind of things, and we're all of us looking for alternative energy resources for the future. But we all know that flooding is going to be with us continually as long as we continue to inhabit the earth. So we're happy to assist the general public through the federal flood program and taking care of everybody's flood needs. And we're very happy to be part of the Tesla event this weekend. Thanks, Nick.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Without Franklin Insurance, we will definitely not be able to do this event. They take a lot of printing, a lot of advertising material, and definitely that's our golden sponsor is really golden sponsor to us. I hope they're going to have enough business from this and going to be sponsors again next year.
Sure will. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much, and I really appreciate it.
Anytime.
I want to ask you some things here, if you don't mind. You give me a really good idea, and I think I want to put this in our board for discussion. Talking about museum being open all over the country.
Well, let's do with first one, and I do believe that the best and the most symbolical place would be a Wardenclyffe.
Absolutely.
The place where he had his last lab station and where he worked. And this is, I think, America owes to herself one museum, Tesla.
Do you think other cities like Philadelphia, because we want to open club,
Well,
and
yes,
part of the club really going to be museum, and we're probably going to have really good. We already have really good cooperation with Belgrade Museum, and we have a lot of different things what we can put in it.
Of course.
So,
I mean, since you are stationed here, it
Right.
makes sense. Just logistically, Wardenclyffe is more
absolutely,
legible.
absolutely.
But if you can do it here, anywhere, he so desperately needs a museum that I don't know.
But I really did not think before I was in your house and you gave me this idea. I have to admit, this happened first time that time. I was only thinking about club, about place where we're going to sell books about Tesla. I have different movies and everything, but museum is really solution. I think.
It's just order of things. When you make a museum
Right.
for any person that deserves to have a museum, and Tesla certainly is one of them. Then you have lots of tourists, lots of people who visit. The information, it's the most legible place to spread the information and spread the word. And I think we're at the point where that has to happen.
Dr. Maglic is founder of Tesla International Society from Colorado Springs, and he come here tonight to share some really interesting story. We don't want to talk in front of the camera about this. You're gonna hear that. Yeah, you have to wait for that. But I really would love to hear something from you. What is your experience when you started this in the 80s, and how was 84? So how was things going?
Well, I tell you, it was very interesting. It took only 1 week or so to realize that there is like an explosion of interest for the society. It's explosion. They were asking, many people calling and asking, can we join? What should we do? Stuff like that. Even today, you know, I feel very, very upset that I'm kind of, what am I, tired or something? They still ask me, let's build a museum here. I will do that. I even wanted to buy a house for the museum, but it somehow didn't work out. Still interested.
But we're really looking right after the Long Island Museum is finished with Jane Alcon, and people be really planning to open museum in Philadelphia. There would be Tesla Club with museum with little lab, and would you be our advisor on that?
Well, Nicola, I can tell you that whatever I can do to help, I am willing. And I don't need anything in return. No recognition, nothing. But you also have to realize that I have a lot of other commitments.
Absolutely.
So if we plan it right, probably it can work.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's how I feel.
I think your advice is going to be very, very valuable with all your experience. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you here with us. Thank you.
Very wide range.
Michael is the gentleman who come one day to us and say, I really want to sponsor a dinner and whole evening. I was really surprised. I was shocked to death. I did not know. I can't believe this was true. And Michael come in this beautiful place and order food for 150 people and pay all these expenses and everything. We will not be able to have this event tonight without Michael. Michael, really thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
We have Jane Alcon and Chris here from Long Island Project. I think it will be way better if they explain what's happening, actually when they start all this thing, and what's happening, where they're standing now.
Well, we're from Long Island, and we're working on a project on Wardenclyffe, and it's in Shoreham on the north shore of Long Island. And you can see from the pictures that this is the way Wardenclyffe once looked. And Tesla had his friend Stanford White design the building for him. Stanford White was one of the most famous architects of his time. And the tower, which was to be his crowning glory, his communications and power transmission tower. We've been working on this for about 15 years now. We'd like to save that building. It's a historic building and scientifically and historically important. And this is the site plan, the grounds as they stand now. There are a number of other buildings there. We'd like to have those buildings removed, with the exception of the laboratory building, and we would like to restore that building, and we'd like to readaptively use it as a science museum and learning center and an archive in Tesla's legacy.
Chris, do you have something to say to us about this project?
The building has been was built in the early 1900s, and fairly soon the tower was also built. And as we know, the building. The project had to be given up when Tesla couldn't find any more funding for it. It would have been a World Transmission Center, a World Wireless Energy Transmission Center, and the research done at Wardenclyffe continued on the research that Tesla did in Colorado Springs, where he already transmitted power in a limited fashion over several miles distance. So Wardenclyffe was to be the crowning piece of his research, but also the beginning of more an industrial enterprise where he envisioned to transmit power across the globe. And Wardenclyffe was supposed to be only one of these, the very first of these towers.
Okay, I want to introduce Frank Taney, who is our board member and also one of our sponsors. but also he giving us all legal advice and doing a lot of different work for us. And I would love to ask him to tell me how he's seeing us in the next few years and what he's thinking about our work.
Well, I was excited to see the proclamation from the Mayor Nutter, the fact that it mentioned the group, it mentioned Nikola Tesla's contribution to society and the world and this country, the fact that he would give 2 whole days over as Tesla Days. I think it speaks volumes about what this group is doing, what Nikola Tesla, the recognition of his legacy. And I think the science conference that I sat in on, seeing these world-class scientists from all over the world, cutting-edge stuff, it's intersecting the need for free energy and clean tech right at a very important point in our nation's economy. I think I see only bigger and better things for this group.
Thank you, Frank, and thank you for giving us space for having conference in your offices. Being on 32nd floor is really gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. Also, having all this legal advice for free, having you on our board, it's absolutely wonderful. So our next step is actually Monday. We're starting preparation for next year.
Right.
If I understand, we're gonna be from July 4 to July 10, whole week have conference next year. So you're gonna have a lot of work with us.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'm glad to do it, and you shall have my continuing help and support.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you. All right. Okay. Here we have Dr. Ljubomir Vujović, President of Tesla Society New York and General Secretary for Worldwide Tesla Society. We have a lot of help from Dr. Vujović, a lot of different good advices and experience from 40 years. What he have is really, really good for me to learn. One thing what Dr. Vujović, last thing what Dr. Vujović is doing is promoting Tesla Days. It's supposed to be recognized by United Nations, and our group got involved because Dr. Vujović wants us to be involved. So can you tell us something about it?
Yes, I am very happy to be here tonight.
Look at him, sir.
Yeah, I'm very happy to be here tonight, and I am very enthusiastic about action, what you're doing here. I think that's a great thing to have a Nikola Tesla Days. We actually, Tesla Society from New York and Tesla Society from Australia, which is a Tesla Forum, and last time also your organization joined us to proclaim Nikola Tesla Day through United Nations. We made a suggestion about that for since 1902, but at that time was disintegration of Yugoslavia, etc., and we couldn't do it. But now there is a renewed interest in whole Balkan, in Serbia, in Montenegro, in Croatia about that, and we would like to have that done maybe next year if it is possible, to proclaim Nikola Tesla Day as a day of science. We had in last October, day of Nelson Mandela, who was a president of the South African Union, because his birthday was taken as a day of peace. At that time, when we actually had the action, started, we got a letter from Secretary of United Nations, Kofi Annan, who advised us that one country, which is a member of the United Nations, supposed to bring the proposal to General Assembly for voting. And we're hoping that it will happen. There is a lot of interest about that, and with the help of Mr. Nikola Lončar and other organizations in the United States and abroad, we hope we will do that.
Thank you, Dr. Vujović. Thank you. And I hope we're going to cooperate for years and years. Thanks a lot. I would love to introduce Miriam Seidler, and she will tell us a few words about the proclamation what we just got from the mayor and city of Philadelphia.
Yes. Okay. Well, we're really happy to be able to get it, and it reflects. I think that the city was interested because the mayor is solidly behind getting conservation and new energy as a priority in Philadelphia, and that you'll hear that in the proclamation that there are research groups that are going on in Philadelphia right now for alternative energy, and I think that they understood when we approached them that Tesla is a wonderful inspiration for all that. So,
Miriam, without you, we will definitely not have that proclamation. That's no question about it.
I was thrilled that they came through.
I really appreciate it, and I'm really glad you're part of our group.
I'm very glad to be here. I'm amazed at what you've gotten together here.
People are going to see later your other project,
Yes.
and you're going to...
It feels like a real community of Tesla people here. Yeah, that's amazing that you've been able to do that. I'm in awe.
I really appreciate all your help.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Okay.
My name is David Voigt. I'm the chairman of the Tesla Science Foundation, and I'm delighted here to have as one of our honored guests here and speaker, Mr. Đerđa Matković. Mr. Matković represents the Embassy of the Republic of Serbia. He is their first counselor, and he has agreed to join us this evening for this very eventful occasion. I'd like to ask Councilor Matković a few questions with respect to Serbia's role in seeing the Tesla Science Foundation supported, and more importantly, how they see the Tesla Science Museum in Belgrade, for example, interfacing with what we have established here in the United States. Mr. Matković, you and I discussed this on several occasions in the past, and again, we welcome you to Philadelphia and appreciate your attendance and your participation. Let me ask you a question with respect to how Serbia, first of all, how you, as a representative of the embassy, has found this event so far.
First of all, let me thank you very much for the invitation. It's really a great honor for us to be present at this conference, and I am really amazed with what you have accomplished here. We were at the presentations, the free library this afternoon, and there were lots of presenters, and we were amazed with their knowledge and their talent about Tesla. So I congratulate you, and also the embassy is supporting very much the activities which you are doing here. We have met, as you told earlier, on several occasions, and you were very kind to come to our embassy to visit us together with Mr. Nikola Lončar. And we support very much the activities of the Tesla Science Foundation, because we think that by spreading the word about Tesla, we are actually doing a great job to the whole mankind and for the humanity and for advancing the technology in the world.
As you well appreciate, Mr. Counselor, our objective here is to establish collaboration with the Republic of Serbia with respect to our efforts here in gaining an all-important recognition of Tesla. And anything that you all recognize as providing us with the support and resources would be overwhelmingly appreciated.
Absolutely, absolutely. We are actually in contact with the government of Serbia to see some ways to help more the Tesla Science Foundation here. As you mentioned earlier, the Nikola Tesla Museum in Belgrade is also in close cooperation with the government of Serbia, and we will do our best to see to fund, if possible, the work of this foundation. Serbia has, I would like to inform you that Serbia has signed this year scientific and technological cooperation agreement with the United States. And this agreement came into effect a few months earlier, and it provides a wide framework for scientists of both nations to cooperate. And I think it would be a good basis also for the cooperation with the Tesla Science Foundation.
Mr. Counselor, it's indeed a great pleasure to have you join us and participate in our event, and we hope that you will return in the future. Thank you so much for your kind words.
I will certainly. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Necessary. And
Please describe the cassettes that they use, and I'm going to recognize it from anything I saw in the stores, in ordinary stores. Maybe in special.
Guys, we have to go in another room. Where is dinner?
So we are having a special dinner banquet because we are celebrating Tesla's birthday. We have a 3-day conference. It's called Energy Independence Celebrations. We have various speakers and topics around the city. This is a very special night because we'll have dinner and talks, and then a concert. Divine Hand Ensemble playing theremin, very interesting instrument. We'll play after in different rooms. So it's going to be 5 to 6 hours of fun.
I'd like to take just a few moments before we open the program to pay a special gratitude and thanks to those sponsors who are with us this evening, who without their sponsorship, support, and providing us with the resources necessary to orchestrate this event would not have been possible. We are indeed honored this evening to have the guest with us who has agreed not only to attend but participate in this evening's event. And it is as much a memorable occasion for him as it is for us. Gentlemen representing the Embassy of Serbia from Washington, D.C., First Counselor, Mr. Đorđe Matković. The First Counselor of the Embassy in Washington, Mr. Matković, was born in the town of Subotica, Serbia, graduated from the University of Belgrade Faculty of Law in 1978. Served in various functions in Serbia and the former Yugoslavia embassies and many foreign ministers. He serves as the First Counselor of the Embassy of Serbia in Washington. Please allow us your welcome to Mr. Matković. Mr. Counselor.
Thank you, David, for that kind introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and thank you very much for the invitation to be part of this magnificent conference here in the beautiful, historic city of Philadelphia. Special thanks to Nikola Lončar and David Kurtz and all the people in the organizing committee who worked tirelessly to make this event possible. I have followed with admiration the lectures and presentations earlier today, and I was truly amazed with the enormous fun and the vast knowledge of the participants. It is my privilege to convey to you the principles of the Republic of Serbia of the United States of America, and definitely is a wonderful message that you follow the test discussion and create a fascinating example of human prospect and the possibility for a better world for everyone. Thank you for your attention, and I hope you enjoy the evening.
Is that they never discuss hydroelectric power, which is clean, renewable energy. And I suggested, for instance, doubling the size of Niagara Falls.
First of all, I want to tell you that I'm very happy to be with so many people who obviously admire Tesla. It's amazing why people come to Tesla and what they find in Tesla. You know, there's a scientific reason. My own reason was his creativity. It was amazing to me that a man could create things out of nothing. Since that's what I basically do along the way. It was interesting to me how he found solutions to problems throughout his life. And that's what inspired me to follow Tesla, get involved in him. And that's why we're here today. Well, anyway, first of all, I was particularly impressed with their resume. I wasn't aware of it. So many things. it's a pleasure to be here and to discuss the great Serbian-American inventor, Tesla. Nikola Tesla has been called the greatest inventor he never knew. And like I said,
He 45 had a similar name. His name was Brane Lončarić. Well, he beats you for each, for a little each. And I decided I better come and try to help.
Stensky. Along with her came Serbian nobles who settled in the cities of Medvedgrad by Zagreb, Rakovac by Vrbovina, and Greater and Lesser Kamnik by Križevac. Dr. Dušan Kašić writes that Croat and these incursions by the Ottoman Turks caused the Croats to flee from their traditional lands.
Electromagnetism. As I approach the pitch antenna, it gets higher in pitch. I control its volume with my left hand. This first piece that we'd like to perform for you this evening, we consider a little bit of a theme for Nikola Tesla and all the wonderful things he's done and left us with for next generations to learn about electricity and wireless technology. This piece is called La Boulange. John, when you're ready, take it away.
how did you get in the research of Nikola Tesla? How all this thing started?
Well, it started with a long life devotion to his work by my father's experience. He liked his lectures, he liked his books, he liked his researches. So I always liked him, but one day I was thinking about the women in his life, and I decided to choose one and maybe write about her.
So that's interesting thing, because Mr. Jäger is also expert in that area, and I always thinking like, what is really behind all this writing? Different writers writing different things. He closed the project in Long Island because of ethics reason, because somebody can abuse the whole project. If they take the all this electricity, they have enough power, they can do whatever they want. They can burn the rest of the world. So I think that's the reason why the project stopped. Because when he walked out, he said, when time comes, time maybe is now there. And it's very difficult for me to believe all these stories, what people writing, Tesla and wife of this guy, or Tesla and his friend, daughter. I just can't believe it. Somebody who had that much that ethic development, that level, will do something. It's very difficult for me to believe.
Tesla is a mystery, a real mystery. So you can. What is the most important? He always stayed true to his words, and he was really a moral person. So.
Right, but again, this thing with the woman is a little bit shaky for me. And,
yes. You cannot prove anything when you talk about Tesla and women. So some say he never touched a woman. Some say he had some relationships.
Right.
The fact is that a lot of women were in love with him.